That's very good, Helena. I would definitely watch. Jesse, I've not seen him, not recently. I mean.
Oh, I saw him when I came in. I think he was walking home. He had like a little sandwich.
Oh, he was around. Wouldn't like to say for sure.
Have you had my school on Facebook? Let's
Start with now. Okay, go on, we need to.
Do you want me to time or you time? I'll time go. Yeah, I definitely will. I love that. And creepy one. Are you ready?
I'll show you, that's the synopsis. That's episode of read the synopsis.
Go.
Okay. So the name of my short film is called Forgotten. A bit about me is that I'm a student in my first year of Manchester Film School, and as part of our module 4 we had to write and research a synthesis portfolio. My first idea progressed from the simple idea of like a relationship between a counsellor and their patient, like they're talking back and forth. And then from this I came up with the idea that Jonathan actually has Alzheimer's, so he's been going because he's been struggling with his anger and he keeps forgetting things, but they can't seem to like quite get to the bottom of his problem. And the main focus of the camera is that it's always on Jonathan. Like the woman in the script is never revealed until like the very last act, and then it's revealed that it's in fact Violet, who's his wife and who's been suffering with Alzheimer's disease. I hope that altogether this short will last approximately 7 minutes, or perhaps less because it's only 6 pages, but with quite a lot of description and actions from him. And the settings are various, as I'll talk about later, and it's set in modern day England. So my script begins in a counselling session, which obviously the main focus is on Jonathan. And he talks about the issues that he's facing, and this triggers a variety of flashbacks. So there's one of him like in a supermarket, at home, when he's just shouting and he's forgetting things, and he's putting pictures in weird places out of a photo album. At the beginning of Act 2, it moves on to a hushed conversation taking place between a new character introduced, but we don't know she's actually Violet yet, and a doctor. The contents of what they're discussing is not revealed, but I said that you could have like a door shutting and show an X-ray, well not an X-ray, like a brain scan on the wall as he closes the door. This then moves on to Violet and Jonathan's family home, where she administrates like his pills and she takes care of him, she makes him tea and dinner. And you see her leave the room, but you don't actually see where she goes at this point. And then in Act 3, it begins with the next day with Violet there again, making him tea and talking. They're just chatting, and there's like little subtle hints that he's losing his mind. So like he doesn't pick out his favourite biscuit. There's the photo album like under the sofa. There's all different things in weird places because he's just misplaced them. And then we see him rummaging through the photo album again, and he's like taking up all of the pictures of Violet because he doesn't remember who she is. And then we see her looking from the top of the stairs. But one of the photos that he's taken out is the same office of the counselling session, so it's revealed that Violet is the counsellor, but we don't see that until this point. And she's also revealed to be his wife, but he's obviously forgotten because of his mental deterioration. Some films that inspired me are that I noticed a small gap in the film industry of films to do with Alzheimer's. Because most of these films, like, everyone knows who the character is. This one isn't about Alzheimer's, it's about cancer, but he actually begins a relationship with his counsellor. Whereas in all these other films, all of the characters already have like a pre-established relationship. So they know who the person is. I picked this film out as an example, as he does begin a relationship with his cancer, as I said before. The most accurate representation of Alzheimer's is probably the one by Still Alice, as it is filmed all from her perspective and shows a variety of symptoms such as memory loss. She begins to forget her words, she struggles with her speech, writing, and like hearing things, so they come through differently to her. She has problems with disorientation. She often finds herself in different places where she doesn't know where she is, or she completely forgets where she is and panics that she can't remember her own name. She always misplaces items, such as she takes her daughter's diary and puts it under her pillow for her daughter to find, and then she has no recollection of reading it. She also has a change in her personality, so she sometimes becomes really angry and frustrated, but then she doesn't remember what she said to her family members, which was often quite hurtful, and she has difficulty performing familiar tasks. So the themes in my script are mental deterioration, which is obviously Jonathan's Alzheimer's, relationships, so the breakdown of his and Violet's marriage, although she is still fighting to be there for him. And then obviously it's slightly a mystery because we don't actually know who she is until right at the end. What makes my film individual is that most Alzheimer's related films obviously have an established relationship with the patient, whereas mine's a mystery. We don't know that they're actually linked to one another. We just think that she's a stranger. Although it's a short film, throughout my script I've included a variety of the symptoms of all the different stages of Alzheimer's. So these are my locations. I thought they'd be quite, not an easy set build, but quite straightforward. So it's just a living room, a kitchen, an office, like a consultation room, and a staircase which she looks down at the end. I picked a street in West Disbury, so it's quite close by, so obviously for transporting all of the equipment. The only tricky one would be the supermarket, but I thought about this and perhaps we could overcome it in a set build by just having some like makeshift shelves and a checkout. These are some of the things that I struggled with when writing my script, and that was how to keep Violet's identity a secret. So discussing this with JC, we overcame this by having just the main focus on Jonathan throughout the whole, and then obviously subtly portraying the symptoms, so I just did loads and loads of research about Alzheimer's and all of the variety of symptoms, and then keeping everything within the 10-page restriction. There's many ethical issues surrounding my short film, as obviously with counselling, their number one rule is anonymity. So to overcome this, I researched the British Association for Counselling and Psychotherapy guidelines. And obviously, before they start the relationship, they're obviously not allowed to know each other. But their number two rule is that they always put the patient first. So considering this, I thought that Violet does always put him first over her own needs. Because in the script, you can see she gets really frustrated and angry with herself and with Jonathan. But she's always putting him first above her own needs, so she's like the driving force behind him. And to make it realistic, I thought hopefully it might be okay, because obviously both of the characters are under really extenuating circumstances, and the other one is just sensitivity when filming, because it might be hard for the actor to actually get into that frame of mind. My ideal demographic for my film will hopefully be the ages from 16 upwards and apply to both genders. My hope for this short are that it can be used as relatable material for perhaps those within the early stages of the disease, carers, relatives and friends who know someone who's suffering with the disease, and perhaps one day it might be used for any educational purposes if the symptoms are all portrayed correctly. Funding. The average budget for a feature-length film in the Manchester area I found that was about £25,000, with perhaps some of their own money added into that they've made before. For a student film, and with the resources that we already have available at the studio, the remaining budget will probably be very little. So I put an example, I put £1,000, but it will probably be a lot less than this. To raise any money for the production, I will use a website called Indiegogo. This is a crowdfunding website. To create a profile for this, I have to create a short logline best for this film, a bit about me and the crew and what it is that we want to do, a breakdown of my campaign goal and how the money will be used, which is probably on props and any extra resources needed for equipment. The website offers 2 types of funding: fixed, which is where you only keep the contributions if you meet your goal, and flexible, which is where you keep your contributions even if you don't hit your goal, which is probably what I will use. A bit more about this website is that filmmakers have more creative freedom when it comes to making this film, especially as some studio executives don't actually pick up theirs. An example of this is the film Dear White People that raised $41,000 just to make a trailer, and they then led on to surpassing their budget, and when making their film they won a special jury prize at Sundance Film Festival. Furthermore, their distribution was handled by Lionsgate Pictures. And then finally, these are a few places that my short could possibly go. So local competitions, global competitions, and then a few websites, such as Short of the Week. Any questions? Oh, those are my references that I've used.
So when you say you're going to keep all the focus on Jonathan, so you don't,
Yeah.
are you not showing her face
No,
or
so
at
you
all?
can-
But
you
are you
can-
going to see the back of her and stuff like that?
Yeah, so you can see maybe a side profile of her hair like this, but you can't actually. You can hear her, but you can't actually see her.
So it's going to be like getting half coverage just on him.
Yeah. So it's just the main focus is on him for the first 2 acts, basically.
Yeah. And then how do you actually reveal that it's his wife?
So he further, I should have said this, but in the second act, he's looking through pictures and he doesn't recognise who they are, so he's just taking all them out and hiding them.
So you're going to see that it's his wife, you're going to have a wedding photo.
Yeah,
or
a
something
wedding
like that,
picture, and there's a picture of her in her office and stuff, because obviously it's her company, and there's going to have a picture of her degree and stuff in the photo album.
So you continue from Kay. Do you know in the scene where Violet and the Doctor are speaking, has she been revealed yet? Or if not, how are you going to film?
She hasn't been revealed yet, so at this point we probably just think that she's his carer or something.
So we're actually going to see her face?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that bit should be sat in the waiting room.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be careful if you do this half coverage, because what you'll find is you can give the story away.
Yeah, no, that's what's going to be really tricky.
Yeah, because the audience will just think, why are we not seeing this character? Seeing this character, and you can figure
Give
it
it away
out
too
too soon.
much. But I want to try and do it really subtly.
Yeah, I wonder whether I liked your idea how you think that this woman is a care worker in the house, but actually, because that's what her because could it not be something based on the deterioration of a loving relationship into a caring relationship?
Yeah.
Different things.
Yeah. It could go quite a few different
I wonder
places.
if you actually need the counsellor scene, whether it's...
Yeah, just get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I like the idea, but the way you maybe realise it isn't maybe the first way you're thinking about it, you realise it.
Okay.
You might slightly think about it in a different way.
Yeah.
Have you, coincidentally, there is a Manchester Film School film. Have you seen it?
No, but I didn't realise that until obviously Gareth told me before. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Right, well, you should watch that.
Okay.
I mean, not that you shouldn't develop it,
Yeah.
I think because it doesn't matter if there's not.
Yeah.
There is it's called Do I Know You?
Okay.
And it's a lift, and 2 people get in the lift, and the lift gets stuck momentarily,
Yeah.
and he's got Alzheimer's, and then we discover.
Oh, so
So you should watch that,
Okay.
even though you know the ending of it. But you should watch it and see how that's been done, because it's an interesting, it's a similar theme.
Yeah.
To that, and relate to yours. Also, an interesting one was a film, I think it was with Harrison Ford in. It wasn't Alzheimer's, but he was involved in a car crash.
Oh, sure, he has.
And he lost, what's it called? You lose your memory.
Short-term amnesia.
Amnesia, yeah. So he loses his memory. But his character is really quite a horrible character.
Yeah.
But
because sometimes it can affect them.
yeah,
Really
he's a city worker. He's a vicious, ruthless banker. Whereas when he has the accident, he's a new personality. He's very gentle and loving.
Yeah.
He's a completely different person. You might think of things like that. Because it's interesting you play with the whole sort of psychology of Jonathan. So I can't think of that film's called, but it's Harrison Ford
Okay,
film.
I'll Google
And it's
it.
probably before you were born again.
Was it just the films that like influenced you? Was there any like kind of like anything like else? Or
No,
was it
not
just the
really.
film?
Well, I went from like the idea of just how, because I was originally just going to do it like a counselling session, like 2 people talking, and then it'd have loads of flashbacks. And then I somehow got onto this.
Yeah. So if you would, yeah.